All right, guys, so today we're going to look at what I think is probably the best looking pair of in-ear monitors you can find. Now, obviously, the looks of these is not going to be the huge selling point, but it definitely makes them stand out. And the pair we're going to look at is the Simgot EN700 Pro. Now, I do want to start with the price of these. They are $146, but on Amazon right now, there's an $8 off coupon. So basically just figure under $140. But like I said to start with, and the one thing that just stands out right from the get-go is the look. And everything else inside the box is extremely premium. And even looking at outside the box, it says it's high-res audio. So you can tell they're giving you the highest quality you can get from the sound all the way down to the looks of these. So let's go ahead and start with what's inside the box. Now, the first thing you're gonna notice is a very nice brown leather case. It does have Simgot's logo like embossed on the front. And again, this is emphasizing that premium feel. And now inside of the case, it comes with two different sets of ear tips. You have small, medium, and large in both, but they both cater to a different sound. Ear tip 1 is saying that it has a powerful mid to high frequency, where ear tip 2 says enhanced bass. Now, I am more of a bass head, so I lean towards ear tip 2, but between the two, there's not really that much of a difference. So now let's go ahead and look at the cable. Now, the cable on this is a braided 3.5mm cable. It says it's crystal copper silver plated Kevlar, which these type of cables, even though they feel great, they tangle very easily. Now, it does come with a little Velcro strap where you can just kind of fold it, strap it in, and then put it in the case, and that would keep it from tangling. But there are just times where you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna ball it up, throw it in the case, and just know, like, when you pull these out of the case, they're gonna be tangled. It does have the straight plug. I personally prefer an angled plug, but again, that's not a huge gripe. And then because these are in-ear monitors, they do have the ear hooks to them. Now, this is a black cable, and mixing that with the colors of the monitors just give these a fantastic look. So let's go ahead and check out the monitors themselves. Like I said earlier, this is one of the best looking pair you will ever see. I have the red and blue model. These do come in several different other colors. As far as branding goes, it just has Simgot's logo right up front, and then it has a gold grill that kind of reminds me of like the old retro microphones, like the one that Elvis Presley used to use. So it has a very classic look. And the one thing they wanted to emphasize is that there's no plastic. Like, all of this is an aluminum, it's metal, it's just really clean looking. And the red and blue look amazing. Now, the ear tips too that they include are also red and blue, so that you know to match the right ear tip with the right side. I don't know that it necessarily matters, but again, it just adds to that look. As far as weight goes, they do feel very solid and have a little bit of weight to them, but when they're in your ear, and I guess because of the way they're designed, you're not feeling that weight on them. So they're just because they feel a little bit heavier in the hand, they don't feel heavy in your ears. So I had no issues with comfort, except for the fact that, like most in-ear monitors, after wearing them for hours, that ear hook can kind of just, depending on what you're doing, kind of rub above the part of your ear. Now, that's not a big deal if you're just gonna sit and listen, but if you're gonna move around quite a bit, it just might be something that will bother you. So now we need to talk about the sound of these, because yes, they look absolutely gorgeous. The premium look of the case, the nice addition of having two different types of ear tips, everything is pointing to this being a really good buy. And like I said earlier, this is high-res audio capable, but the huge plus here is the impedance level is only 16 ohms. They're extremely easy to drive. Now, that means using it on your phone. You don't necessarily have to have an amp. Obviously, using an amp, you'll be able to push and get a little bit more out of these, but volume is not an issue, and the dynamic sound that these have is not gonna suffer if you're just gonna use them plugged straight into your phone. So that now goes to where we can talk about the sound. It is very powerful. There is a lot of focus on the mid to high frequencies, and what that's doing is just bringing out details like vocals and higher range sounds, and it's adding to this having a very clean sound. Where the bass is tight and punchy, and it doesn't have that like resonating thick sound to it until you get to sub bass. Now that's where you can start to feel a little more of the impact, and it really is just an in-your-face dynamic sound. So if you're somebody that's looking for a flat sound signature, these just aren't capable of that. It's just an overall clean, tight sound. And the weird way to explain this is if you're listening to vocal driven stuff like country or easy listening or classical type music, that range is picked up beautifully. But if you want to then listen to modern hip hop or rock or metal and stuff like that, that's more geared towards bringing out bass, it just knows to kind of push that up a little bit. They are not a neutral sound at all, but it has a very natural open sound. It's basically like as if you were in the room while the band was playing. Like, you will have no issue picking up where sounds are coming from, but you're also able to hear details like the strings being hit or when the drums being hit, and it not just sound thick and muddy. So at no times did this ever just kind of get congested. It was always clean, it was always open. So for $150, I think this really is competing with a lot of the models that are 2 to 3 times as much. I mean, I've seen in-ear monitors that are extremely expensive, and they're not bringing a lot more to the table than what these are. So these are pretty simple. If you want something that's just flashy from the look all the way to the dynamic sound, this is a great in-ear monitor to pick up. But if you're looking for a flatter, neutral sound, I would stay away from these, because even with the different ear tips, it's not going to give you a flat sound signature. This isn't a bass-driven earbud, but all your frequencies are turned up. But anyway, guys, that is my review of the Simgot EN700 Pro. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.